Hey, everybody out there in
Mhm.
listener land, back with our Autoline exclusives. I'm Sean McElroy. Joining me today is Mike Evanoff. He is the Senior Manager of
Mhm.
Product Planning at Hyundai Motor America. Mike, I really want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Always enjoy talking to you guys.
Yes, thanks for joining us. And of
Mhm.
course, we're here today to talk about the new Elantra. Uh, it's a vehicle that just won the NAC Toy Car of the Year, so congratulations on that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was very much a team effort. Everybody came together, especially in these unprecedented times, to launch a car, especially like Elantra, and do a lot of it, almost all of it, virtually and digitally. Very proud. It's like the Oscars for the automotive industry, and it's the second time Elantra has won the North American Car of the Year. So we're extremely proud and very thankful for the recognition.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations are in order for sure. Uh, and one of the things I find kind of interesting is that so much of in the news when we're talking, especially about sales of vehicles, is how much consumers have switched over to SUVs, trucks, and the like. But here we are with the sedan that's just won Car of the Year. And I think one of the biggest things that sticks out to me with it is the styling on this vehicle. It's much more expressive than from the previous generation.
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of wanted to go back to capture some of that inspiration from the prior two generations ago that also won North American Car of the Year. They kind of put the Elantra nameplate on the map, so we definitely wanted to go back and as some manufacturers leave this segment, the segment is still it was just under 1 million units last year. It's forecasted to be a little bit less than that for 21, but it's still an important segment. And I think we at Hyundai really doubled down on sedans, starting with Sonata, and now taking that momentum into the Elantra for its launch and winning North American Car of the Year.
Yeah, and I mean, when we're talking about the sedan segment and we're talking about people leaving, it's just getting that much more competitive. So now we're seeing, just like we talked about with the Elantra, such expressive styling, and it's become such a competitive segment. And one thing that I don't know if maybe our viewers quite understand is when we're talking about expressive styling that we see on the body panels of the Elantra, man, does that it's a big thing in the sense of manufacturing. And the point I would like to
Yeah.
make is that, when you have crisp body lines like that, it almost looks like the facets of a diamond or something like that.
Yeah, so this is the second model of our sensuous sportiness overall design language. The designers referred to this one as parametric dynamics design. So it's a little bit more angular, whereas I see Sonata a little more organic. But yeah, you refer to that side surfacing. That is very much a manufacturing challenge, because not only is it in the front fender and the rear fender, but both doors, everything has to line up. And you can see it in pictures and images, but when you see it in person, the depth of that and how much of that crease and how much of that surfacing really is there, it really makes it a statement within the segment, and that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like in manufacturing, if we're talking about a panel like that, you might have to stamp it several times over and over, where maybe a less complex panel, you might not have to stamp as many times. And the reason I
Yep.
bring that up as being important is that the amount of time that it takes to do that can add up as you keep going down and building more vehicles, building more vehicles. And I just want to point it out because I think it shows what a commitment that Hyundai is making to the segment, that, hey, we're willing to sacrifice some manufacturing speed to have this really just expressive styling.
Yeah, we really wanted to put, make a statement in this segment, and yeah, definitely, from like I said, from a manufacturing standpoint, it is a little bit more of a challenge. But the designers and stylists and the engineers worked really closely together, as they always do, but especially on this, to make sure everything lined up, all the hard points, are accommodated for. So there's always that compromise between the two, and I think we definitely, they worked really well together to make sure the finished product satisfied both sides.
Yeah, and you made the great point of maybe not in pictures the greatest thing to see, but when you see it out on the road, wow, does it really make an impact statement to anyone that sees that? And the grill, for sure, the grill definitely plays a role in that too. What an expressive grill as well.
Yeah, that's kind of the evolution of our cascading grille design, which we've had for a couple years now. But yeah, definitely the styling, but also proportions. Proportions play a big role because the car is longer, lower, and wider. And anytime you do that, obviously stance, presence, everything is enhanced and makes the car have good presence on the road when you see it, especially the width from the rear. So definitely the combination of the styling and the proportions, is what we resulted in what you see today on the road.
And clearly, it's not just exterior styling, the interior as well, taking a big leap. Can you talk about some of the technologies and highlights of the interior that you think are important?
Sure, absolutely. Technology. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Just from an overall design standpoint, once again, the designers and engineers work to push that upper cowl as low as possible to give you that open, airy feeling. I think some cars you get into, you're really claustrophobic. So they wanted to give you that open feeling, but then once you get in, it's very more kind of driver focused. The way the layout is, and even the center stack is tilted 10 degrees towards the driver. I think some of the biggest items, obviously, is screens or displays. I've been in so many focus groups where everybody wants the biggest screen, and I think it's very well integrated into Elantra. We've got two screens available. There's a 10.25-inch instrument LCD cluster, and then also a 10.25-inch navigation wide display, and those are both situated under one single piece of glass. So it really gives a nice integrated feel, very high-tech feeling. That combined with the other technologies, available in the car or even standard, makes it for a very, very nice place to be. And, I talked about, being longer, lower, and wider on the outside. The inside actually, with the longer wheelbase, rear seat legroom is up, and also rear seat headroom, because we gave it that fast rake to the seat pillar or to the rear of the vehicle. Rear seat headroom is actually identical to the outgoing model. So no compromises there. That's what I always like to talk about. No compromises. For the passengers, for the drivers, just give them that overall driving and ownership experience.
Yeah, I think Hyundai, one of the things they've kind of always been about, at least from the view of the consumer, it's been about offering a lot of technology and features that come at maybe a better price or in a better package than you might find with the competition.
Yeah, so value is always a big thing for us, but we definitely want to give you the most for your money. But also, segment exclusives, like those screens are exclusive. We also have our new Hyundai Digital Key, which allows you to use your Android-enabled smartphone to gain access to the car, start the car, share the keys electronically. Just a lot of overall technology from our new Bose premium audio system. We've tried to package up a lot of that and put it at a price point that's very approachable and very value oriented, but also giving you all the technology for your dollar, maximizing that experience.
And as we all know, I mean, safety is one of the biggest things coming
Mhm.
in, at least in terms of technology and driver assistance, so things along those lines. Uh, I got to imagine that you guys have a bunch of safety technology that's new to the vehicle or new in different packages. Can you talk a little bit about the safety that you've brought into Elantra?
Sure, absolutely. We've kind of built on what we already had from a safety standpoint in the prior generation. We call it Hyundai Smart Sense. That's our terminology for our safety suite of advanced driver assist systems. And happy to say, from a standard perspective, there's a huge amount of safety features, whether it be the forward collision avoidance assist, but also, one of the top features that's always for demand when we do our research is blind spot collision avoidance assist. So that's also standard. And that's not just warning. It goes one step beyond. In as far as the assist function, actually will apply braking to the opposite wheel to help you back into your lane if you don't make a correction. So it goes that one step further. Also, standard driver attention warning. We also have, there's just a huge suite of standard features. There's some higher end stuff as you move through, like smart cruise control and some other rear parking distance warning and parking assist. But as you move up through the trim and the packages, but from a standard viewpoint, I think very high level. And I think that's also what helped us win the award this year.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so let's see, we've touched on styling, we've touched on technology and safety. Let's get to some of the fun stuff here. What's going on under the hood with the car for this generation?
Yeah, I think, we talk about the three pillars or the swim lanes that we use. It's just the styling, the technology, and then, yes, the advanced powertrain. So we've got currently, we'll add to this later this year, we can talk about, but three powertrains. The standard is a 2-liter MPI Atkinson cycle engine, which delivers 137 horsepower, but a phenomenal, in the base trim, 37 miles per gallon combined, which for just a gas ICE only engine is best in class. And then we also have first ever on Elantra is the hybrid. So we brought the hybrid technology to Elantra. That's a 1.6 GDI with the electric motor. That combined output is 139 horsepower and a really robust 195 pound-feet of torque. And that contributes to, or is part of, the 54 MPG combined for the blue trim, which once again is best in class for the hybrids. It drops just a little bit, but it's still 50 on the higher trim, the limited, with the more content and the larger wheels. So still very fuel efficient. And I talk about no compromises. Trunk capacity is identical, still has folding rear seats, 60/40. There's really you have all the technology, there's no difference, just you have the high fuel efficiency. And then finally, the N line. So N line is also new for the Elantra lineup. That's powered by a 1.6 turbo, putting out 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. And happy to say that is mated to a standard proper 3-pedal 6-speed manual, which is getting harder and harder to get. So I'm very happy that we're able to maintain that 6-speed manual, because I think enthusiasts looking for that car do want that experience. Then also we have a 7-speed dual clutch available as well if you want a little bit more of an automatic feeling, but still sporty feeling as well. And then coming in the future, by the end of this year, will be a 2-liter turbo. So that'll put out 276 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque. That'll be our full Elantra N. And if you're familiar with Veloster N, which has been really good success with the media and sales, very popular in the market, I think it's attracted consumers or shoppers that maybe would have never considered Hyundai before. This will be basically that car updated in the 4-door sedan body style. So very much looking forward to talking about that more and launching that car later this year.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. I saw you were wearing your N shirt there.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't want to put you on the spot too much, but
yeah, and well, no, I guess I'm getting ready for tomorrow because we've got the opening race of the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge. So, and Elantra N TCR is debuting in that race, along with our championship-winning Veloster N TCR cars. So that's a 4-hour race at Daytona tomorrow. So looking forward to that. I'm sure I'll have it on in the background. I'll be working hard, but I'll be sneaking a peek every now and then to see how we're doing.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. And I think when people think about Hyundai, they always kind of associate it with being South Korean brand. But at least in terms of Elantra, you guys have a manufacturing facility here in the U.S. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. HMMA, or Hyundai Motor Manufacturing America, located in Montgomery, Alabama. Been there many, many times. Great group of people. So yes, we assemble Elantra there, as well as Sonata is exclusively produced there. We've got other vehicles coming. We have Santa Fe is there as well. So, very large facility, putting out, number of cars, but, definitely, built here in the United States. Elantra is dual source. So we do have some coming from Ulsan, Korea, but majority are coming from right here in Alabama.
Very cool. Well, I mean, is there anything that we missed on this car? I think we've gone through quite a bit, but are any other little highlights that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I think we hit on the three main pillars, but I think, and we talk about the evolution or the success or rise in sales of SUVs, CUVs, but there are still sedan intenders out there who just want a sedan, and that's why I think Hyundai, we really doubled down on that and want to deliver a product that's, striking design, all the technology you could want, and we're trying to appeal to a younger buyer too with all that technology, all the powertrains. So you've got all the different choices. Still have manual transmissions available, and with the Elantra N coming next year, I think we've got something for everybody. So very much I think a complete package, and I think the NACTOY jurors understood that and acknowledged us for that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if anybody's in the market for a sedan, wow, we mentioned how competitive it is, but we're getting such great vehicles coming from the segment. So, here's a vehicle, like you said, is voted on by automotive journalists, and they're the ones that put it at the top of their list. So, got to think it's a pretty good vehicle.
I think we do as well. So thank you.
Yeah, and is it available? It's available right now, right? We can go out and get it.
Yeah, the 2-liter, the SE, the SEL and the Limited are on sale now. I think we sold just on the 21 model year. We sold close to about 7,000 so far since it went on sale at the end of last year. The outgoing models in sell down. The N line is just starting to hit dealers now, and then the hybrid should be hitting dealers next month. So definitely rolling out and for everybody to see.
Oh yeah, so definitely a big year for Elantra this year.
Absolutely.
Well, Mike Evanoff, I want to thank you so much for joining me. We went through a ton of information all on the Elantra, but I think people have a much better idea of kind of what this car is about and everything. So thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thank you. My pleasure. Always enjoy being here.